What is up everybody, Bulbasaur here and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to paint the Plague Burst Crawler. I'm going to be using a pretty limited color palette, so this video is perfect for beginners, and without further ado, let's get into it. The first step after priming your model is to base coat all of the armor panels in DeathGuard green. If you primed your model black like I did, this is going to take you at least 2 thin coats to get sufficient coverage. Just make sure you're taking your time so that you have a nice base for the next steps. As you can see here, once you get around to the second coat, the paint is going to start covering really nicely. The important thing here is just make sure that you're hitting every nook and cranny, and to be patient and just trust the process. After finishing the base coat, the next step is to wash all of the green armor panels using Agrax Earthshade. This is going to establish all of our shadows and darken all of the recesses. During this step, you're going to want to keep your brush moving and work with the wash so you can spread it along the model in one even coat. After you get the even coat in a specific area, just be sure to leave it and let it do its thing so it can bring out all of the intricate detailing on the model. After the wash has completely dried, what you're going to see is that your model is going to look very dark. In order to brighten it back up, what we're going to do is use a dry brush to stipple on DeathGuard green onto the main flat areas of the green armor. While you're stippling, you want to make sure that you're not re-base coating the model. The goal here is to cover around 80% of the armor panel while leaving the edge intact. The reason why we want to do this is so that we retain the dark recess shading that we achieved from the wash. After finishing this step, you should have a nice base coat with some dark recess shading that is really going to bring out the shape of this model. Before moving on to the next step, I took some time to neaten up all the parts on the model that are going to be painted metallic. To do this, I used Vallejo Black. The next step is to paint all of the trim, and to do this, I used Citadel's Balthazar Gold. If you're not sure where to paint the trim, just refer to the box art and you should be good to go. After finishing all the trim, the next step is to wash all the bronze sections of the armor in Agrax Earthshade. During this step, you can add some recess shading to all of the recesses in the armor. This is going to darken all of the shadows and add additional depth. The next step is to paint the interior of the track pieces with DeathGuard green. Just like the green armor and the trim, we're going to be washing this with Agrax Earthshade to bring out all of the detail in the model. After this step, I went back and blacked in all of the areas that are going to be painted with the silver metallic color. The next step is to apply a dark silver metallic color to all of the blacked in sections on the model. To do this, I'm going to be mixing Vallejo Black with Vallejo Silver. Just like on the trim, you want to be as neat as possible and be sure to touch up any mistakes before moving on to the next step. After finishing the metallic section, wash with Agrax Earthshade. This will darken all the recesses on the mechanical pieces and establish your shadows. After the wash is dried, the next step is to dry brush all of the silver metallic parts of the model with the lightest silver that you have. This will add some nice contrast and edge highlight those sections of the model. After this, the next step is to start painting in all of the different details, starting with the skulls. To do this, I neatly base coated with an off-white that I got by mixing a tiny bit of brown with Vallejo white, wash in Agrax Earthshade, and then lightly dry brush with white to highlight the details. After finishing the skulls, the next step is to paint both of the guns. Just like with the body of the tank, I started by base coating the armor panels in green, painting the trim in Balthazar Gold, and then all of the other areas in metallic silver. After finishing the guns, the next step is to paint all of the tubes. To do this, I used flat flesh, which is a pretty peachy skin tone color, to apply a base coat. After the base coat, I thinned down some dark purple and added that as a wash. While the wash is still drying, wet blend the tubes by adding in more and more skin tone into the purple wash. The main goal here is to establish a nice gradient from dark purple to bright skin tone to create a flesh look on the tubes. After you let this dry, you should have some pretty nice looking tubes. After you finish the guns, you're going to want to repeat these exact same steps on all of the tubes on the tank. On the tubes, there are some holes. To make these holes stand out, I mixed some Vallejo black with a tiny bit of flow improver to create a little bit of a contrast paint. Then I poked this into the holes. After completing all of this, it's finally time to glue the model together. To do this, I'm using Mr. Plastic Glue, but if you have other plastic glue, you can use that as well. At this point, your plague brush crawler should be looking like it's ready to go spread the plague, but there are still some steps that we can take to bring it to the next level. For this step, mix some flat flesh with some DeathGuard green to create a very bright green color. Use this to highlight all of the edges on the model. During this step, you're going to want to take your time and really enjoy the process, as this is where the model really starts to come together. If you're a beginner and you've never highlighted anything this large before, just take your time and trust the process, use the edge of your brush, and focus on the raised areas, and you should be good to go. For the rounded pieces on the model like this tank, you're going to want to highlight the most protruding part of the piece. This is going to make it look like light is hitting the model. Now for everyone's favorite part, I'm going to show you how to paint the pustules. To do this, I'm taking my flat flesh, circling all the holes, and then painting the balls. After this, I darken the flat flesh with a little bit of DeathGuard green and then circle all of the holes again. This is going to make it look like the holes are protruding from the armor. After this, I darken my paint mixture a little bit more with some more DeathGuard green and repeat the process. After that is done, I just continue on highlighting the rest of the model. When painting the pustules, it's important that the paint on your brush is not too watery. If this happens, it may flow off of the brush into the holes and fill the holes with paint where you don't want it to be. If this happens, just use a separate brush that's a little bit damp to soak up the mistake and then try again. To highlight the trim, just use the light silver color to edge highlight all of the raised sections on the armor. Don't forget to highlight the tubes. The last step is to add some oxidization to the bronze trim. To do this, I used a watered down Baharroth Blue mixed with a little bit of a darker blue. If you follow these steps, you should have a very nice looking Plague Burst crawler to add to your collection. If you didn't have the confidence before, I hope that you now have the confidence to go and paint your very own Plague Burst crawler in this style. I used a pretty limited color palette, so this method should be accessible to both beginners and experts alike. If you liked the video, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.